Hi, Julie McAllister here. I want to tell you a little bit more about me and why I do what I do, why I empower you to trust in yourself, to trust that intuition. And a big part of what I do is really um, is I promote taking care of yourself and why that is so very important to your spiritual development as well. They are very much interrelated. So, the turning point for me really was I was suffering from a really severe, terrible depression. It was probably one of the darkest points of my life, and I remember being curled up on my bed. I had been suffering from severe panic attacks that were a side effect of prescription medication that had been given to me for that clinical depression. And instead of relieving my symptoms, it actually gave me more symptoms. And of course, what did they do? They gave me more medication, and it really just made me worse and worse. I was spiraling down instead of spiraling up. And it was really difficult, and I know some of you know what I'm talking about. But that was my turning point. I was laying on my bed and I was curled up in the fetal position, and I called an old friend of mine and we were discussing what was going on. And she said, Julie, she said, if you weren't having these panic attacks before you started the medication, then it's the medication. And, it doesn't matter if this is a doctor. You have to advocate for yourself. No one else is going to advocate for you. You have to stand up for yourself. And while that sounds simple, it was a light bulb moment for me at that critical time in my life, that I had to start standing up for myself again. Something I had always done, but in this perfect storm, so to speak, that had gotten me to this place, I had forgotten that. And so this is what I did to change my situation. I realized that I had to ask for help. Something that, ask in different places than I had been asking. I had been so independent all of my life. I had been able to truck through the loss of my father at a young age. When he passed away in an accident, I suffered from some abuse as a child. Um, you name it, there was a lot of things that I went through, and I had, thought that I really had survived all of that and was moving on with my life. And I realized that, that I had to find some help that was going to be effective for me. And I really couldn't do it alone. I had to ask for that help. And there was really no shame in doing that. And the other thing that I had to do was I had to really honor what I was going through, what I was feeling. And I had to dig deeper, because even though I thought I had made it through all of these things in my life, with flying colors, obviously I hadn't. And so I had to dig deep, and I had to go deeper into what it was that was really affecting me, and honor those feelings and then release them. And in addition, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself, and I had to forgive others. And that was a big one. It was challenging to get to that place, but I was so ready to move on. Was so ready to let go of all that anger and that guilt and that resentment, so that I could move on with my life, and I could have pure energy and clean energy, and not not this muddied energy that I was living in every single day. And when I began all that, I also began really researching natural alternatives to, for my family, for my home, and for me. Instead of using these prescription medications that were obviously not working, I had to find natural things. And I found that in a clean diet and herbs and essential oils and, so many other things in cleaning up my environment and my body. And, what all of this boils down to is that I began to make myself a priority. And when I did, when I said, I can't take care of anyone else, my kids, my husband, other people in my life, unless I'm taking care of me first. And that's what it boils down to, is that I made myself a priority. And when I began to do that, when I began to do all of these things, I changed. I went from being a critical, negative, angry, resentful person to being the loving, still very direct, for those of you that know me that are watching this, still very direct, but doing that directness with compassion and love, and allowing that to be what was running through me instead of that anger and that guilt. And it turns out that what I went through is not unusual, and that many other people have gone through times in their life that they need to let go of the old and they need to bring in the new. Let go of the anger and bring in the love. And so the more I shared my story, the more I came into contact with so many other people that were going through many of the same things, maybe not depression, but just challenges that they needed to let go of. And some of you have had depression or are dealing with depression right now. And what it really came down to is that these people really, and you really want to change. You want to change in your life, and you don't know how, or you don't know how to change. And so it's now my mission to help you discover that how you change, all of the answers are within you. They're all inside you. And first and foremost, it is okay to ask for help. It's okay. In fact, some other people have perspective that you just can't get to on your own. You need that outside help to really dig deep and help you see things from a whole different perspective. You need to, what I want to help you do is to find what that answer is. I want to help you, I want to show you that you can honor the emotions that you're having. You can really find out what those are and honor them. What I want you to be able to do is recognize that you have to take care of you, that no one else is going to do it for you. You have to do it, and you can do it. And it's going to be amazing, the change in you when you do. And lastly, that I can show you how to trust your intuition, how to tune into your higher self, that super subconscious, how to tune into your higher power, whoever that may be for you, so that what you're channeling is love. What you're bringing through you is love and compassion and joy and patience and miracles, truly miracles in your life. And so what I invite you to do, I invite you to book a session with me, whether it's a reading, whether it's a spiritual coaching session, when we really dig deep into what it is you need to change in your life, what it is, the goals you need to set, what you need to create in your life. I invite you to book an energy healing where we can maybe move some of those things. We can shift those things. We can release those things. A raindrop technique, which can also do some of those same things. It detoxifies your body. It relieves you of the pain that you're going through. I invite you to do any of these things just go and click on services and choose what it is that is calling to you. The other thing that I do that is really powerful for people, that really gets that connection strong to themselves and to their higher powers developing, and that's discovering how to develop your own intuition. I have courses on that in services as well and products, and I run a live course periodically, so just stay tuned for that. So the very best way to stay up with what I am doing is to sign up in the box on either your left or your right, depending on, I guess, where you're sitting, and get signed up there so that you can learn anything that I'm sending out, and stay in touch with me. That's what I want you to do, is stay in touch so that I can help you discover the real you, the amazing, fantabulous, outstanding, loving, compassionate, joyful you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing my story, and I hope that it has been inspiring and helpful to you. Have a beautiful, blessed day.